Welcome back to Council AAA Abdallah Ali Al-Balawi, and this is part 3 of my 4-part series where I discuss about how you can study abroad, such as a place like the UK, law, and come back to Canada and become a lawyer and start a successful practice. So my first video, I discussed about what are the considerations you need to look into before you even apply for law school and becoming a lawyer. You need to consider these things. My second video, I talked about what are the things that occur once you get into a school in the UK and what happens in your first and second year. So check out those 2 first videos if you want to learn more about those 2 things. Now the third video, I will be discussing about what happens when you're done law school in the UK and you come back to Canada, or done law school abroad in another country and you come back to Canada. What you have to do is that you have to contact the National Council of Accreditation, right? Which is the NCA. You contact them, and what they do is that they would let you know what exams you need to complete in Canada to qualify to be able to write your bar exams, etc. in Canada for any of the provincial law societies. Because you have a foreign degree, you need to write qualifying exams, right, to be able to be accredited in Canada. So you go through them to do that. So you just Google NCA, National Council on Accreditation, and you'll find them online, and you can find their website online and learn more about that. But once you're done your law degree in the UK or elsewhere, you submit your transcript, etc. to the NCA. They assess your transcript, and then they let you know whether you have to write 5 or 7 exams, or even if you even qualify for the NCA process, because they might tell you that your degree doesn't qualify and you have to do law school all over again in Canada. So you have to make sure whatever law school you go to abroad, the NCA recognizes that law school, so that when you come back to Canada, you don't have to do law school all over again. So if you do qualify for the NCA process, you go through the NCA process and they will let you know, right, how many exams you have to write. They might tell you to write either 5 to 7 exams. Some people only write 4, some people write all the way up to 7 exams, right? And most of the exams that they tell you to write are related to Canadian law, because obviously if you studied abroad, you're going to be taught, I don't know, UK criminal law, UK public law, UK constitutional law. So when you come back to Canada, you have to learn Canadian constitutional law. You have to learn Canadian criminal law. You have to learn Canadian, corporate law, that sort of thing, right? So when you come back to Canada, you have to do those exams. So that you can know the Canadian law, right? In relation, because yes, law, there are some parts of it, especially if Canada is a common law country. So if you've studied in a common law jurisdiction abroad, when you come back, your law degree most likely will fit the NCA process. And then, a lot of the stuff is pretty similar, common law everywhere. But there are some things that you have to learn that are specific to Canada, and the NCA will tell you what exams you have to take. So you study for these exams, and what I would recommend is that you get a tutor, right? Because the exams, you can write them kind of like in two batches, right? You can write them in about 2 batches, right? I wrote them in 2 batches, 4 exams. And then, 4 exams, then I wrote 3. So I had to write 7 exams when I came back. So I wrote 4 and then I wrote 3. Some people only have to do 5 exams. Some people have to do maybe more, right? So you can break down, you can do up to 4 exams in each period. So the NCA will have a schedule up on their website of what exams are being written in a certain period. So you just have to make sure that whatever exam you want to write, you can write it in that period. So I did it within 1 year. I studied, and then I wrote them in 1 year in 2 batches, 4 and 3, but you can do them 1 for a long period of time. Depends on your life situation. Can you write all of them in 4 and 3? I think it's possible, because they are open book exams. As long as you have all of your content with you at the examination place, you have your cheat sheets, etc. It's just a pass-fail. So it's not as difficult, for example, as the bar exam. So I think that you know, if you've gone through the law school, you can most likely do the NCA exams in 4 and 3. But, you know, it's up to you. Some people just want to do 2 exams at a time. Some people can do, you know, 4. Honestly, it's all up to you. And should you get a tutor? I recommend you get a tutor. I used the tutor when I came back. You can just search NCA tutors on Google, and you will find a lot of tutors out there that are teaching people how to write the NCA exams and what content you should take in there, etc. So get yourself a tutor. I think that it's very helpful to do so because you will be much more successful, I believe, in your NCA exams. But you can get all the material yourself, study yourself, and people do that and they're successful, right? I just find it easier when I had a tutor. I would recommend for you to get a study group, because if you don't have friends or you don't have other people you're studying with, you might be missing out things that you might not be studying, you know, that you should be studying. So, and you can also always put together cheat sheets together with a study group. So I definitely recommend that you get a study group, you know, a group of people that you can do and study together with, right? Do the practice exams. They really help a lot, because when you look at the practice exams, you know what's going to be on the main exam. And, you know, you can prepare your notes accordingly so that when you get to the exam, you're kind of just looking at your notes and writing it down on the actual exam. So it's quite helpful that way, right? That's why you do the practice exams, to prepare yourself for the final actual exams, right? Once you write your exams, let's just say you pass all of them and you get your NCA results, what you do is you send those results to your local provincial law society. So for example, I'm in Ontario. I sent mine to the Law Society of Ontario. They assessed all of my NCA exam results. They saw I passed all of my exams, and they accepted me to be a student at law, right? At that time, you know, I signed up for the licensing process. I was given the material to study for my bar exam. It took me about 1 year to complete my bar exam. Similar to the NCA exams, they are open book exams. The bar exams in Ontario, you have to do a solicitor and then a barrister exam. So you get the materials, they send them to you. You have to go through the materials, make cheat sheets, make yourself a table of contents that you can use to find things easier when you're in the exam. Get a study group, you know, take those practice exams so that you can be prepared. But it's really critical and important that you prepare for the bar exams, because it's not about memorizing, it's about preparation, knowing where to find things and knowing where to find things really quickly. It's not about how many things you can remember here, okay? Obviously, if you remember some things, great, amazing. It's easier for you to answer the questions, the bar exams. But if you can find the answers in the booklets and materials, great, amazing for you, right? It's very easy, because sometimes you might see a question that you might not be familiar with, and then you need to go look in the material. So you have to create a good table of contents. You have to be aware of where things are in the materials, and you will do pretty okay. Some people fail, you know, in their bar exams. It's not the end of the world. Almost everybody, you know, sometimes fails 1 or 2 exams. You can rewrite them. It's not the end of the world. Obviously, there are limits to how many times you can write a bar exam. Check with your local provincial law society to see. But honestly, it's okay if you fail. Just rewrite it again. It's not the end of the world. And once you're done that, then you qualify to be a lawyer. And then the law society will also look at, for example, your character. If you have good character, obviously, if you've had some criminal convictions, you have to explain yourself, and those might affect you be able to be a lawyer. But if you have a clean slate, you're done your bar exams and all of that, you get called to the bar. Once you get called to the bar, then you are a lawyer, and then you can start building your law practice. Or you can go work and be a lawyer. So that's kind of like the route I took when I came back from the UK and to qualify as a lawyer in Canada. So there's a 4th part that I'm going to talk about, how to actually build a law practice. So if you're interested in that, watch my part 4, and I hope you've been enjoying this series. Again, write any questions below and I'll try to answer as much as possible, or contact me through my social media and I'll try to help out as much as I can. All right? Thank you so much for watching this, and I hope you join me for part 4. I want to thank you for watching my videos, watching my content. I really appreciate you being part of this community. I really want to make people believe that if you believe, you can achieve. If you like my content, please subscribe, like this video, share it with your friends, and you can visit me on my other platforms under Counsel AAA. So thank you so much, and always remember, be kind to yourself. Thank you.